Hello Internetians, my name is JustKurt, ultraplayer, and I am your coach of the Philly Soldo. Welcome back once again to the APA. This is going to be our Season 5 Week 6 battle. We are taking on the one and only Trap Master, aka Tyler, aka DeathlyiAm, and his Seattle Drizzlers today. Now, I'm going to try and be quiet when I record this because I'm actually recording this at a very unfortunate hour in the morning. It is currently 3:15 in the morning. I just got back from work an hour ago and I have to knock this out. If you watched my team builder, well, you'll know what team I'm bringing, but you'll also know that I had to play him really late. I actually played him an hour before the team builder went up, and then I did not have a chance to record the battle because I did not actually have the replay done yet. So we're gonna try and just be very quiet today. I'm really close to the mic. I hope that isn't affecting quality, and I hope that overall you guys can hear me. Now, if you take a look at your screen, you'll see the 6 mons that he brought and the 6 mons that I brought. So if you want to recap, or if you want to know what I'm bringing, what sets I'm bringing, why I'm bringing them, what they do, please go check out the team builder that I put up yesterday. I go very in depth on my team building process, why I have the moves I have, why I have the mons I have. So, as a quick recap though, I do have an aDrive, which is Edgequake, Roost, and Defog. Max attack, max speed, adamant. We have a JustKurt Gengar with stab, focus blast, and destiny bond. We have a Mew, which is 2 attacks, soft boiled, and psych up for any multiple number of Calm Mind users he could have brought. We have a Virizion, which is going to be sub SD with Bloom Doom. We have a Hippowdon, which is going to be 2 attacks, slack off, and stealth rocks. And then we have a Guzzlord, which is very bulky, and it has 4 attacks. So one thing I do think I feel the need to mention during this battle is that when we played, we actually disconnected the first time we tried to battle, which was the day before we actually battled. We got about 4 turns in and then suddenly cut out on me, and if you know me, you know I have bad times with the internet, so of course I got very angry. But I was not angry at him, obviously. I was angry at Suddenlink. But we actually had to play a different day because by the time that we were able to get back up, neither of us could really play at that point. So we actually, when we got back into this game and decided to play again, we agreed to lead the same and then just play differently. So I will go over what happened in that first battle. I led Mega Aerodactyl, and I'll explain why when I actually get into the battle, and he led his Tapu Bulu. He clicked Leech Seed as I went into Guzzlord. I doubled into Gengar as he clicked Superpower, and then I doubled back into Guzzlord as he went into the Nidoking. He clicked Ice Beam, I clicked Sonic Tantrum, and then after that, we cut out. So he said that we should just do the same lead and we'll just go from there and be a fresh start. So that's the story behind that, and let us get into the actual game. So you can see that he brought the Tapu Bulu, the Meloetta, the Haxorus, the Heatran, the Nidoking, and the Mega Manectric. Now, immediately I know that one of these 6 Pokemon in front of me is gonna be JustKurt. 100%. One of them is JustKurt. There is no doubt in my mind that one of them is going to be made to outspeed my Mega Aerodactyl because it is a huge threat to his team. It is going to be made to outspeed anything that's not JustKurt on my team because my team's speed is very nice. I know that Tran or Nidoking is going to be Rocks. I know that Mega Manectric is going to be Volt Switch, and I think that Meloetta could have Assault Vest or JustKurt because it would make a nice Voltron Core with the Mega Manectric. It would allow him just to turn on whatever and just bring in Tapu Bulu or Haxorus or whatever he really wants anytime he wants. I think Haxorus is the most likely to not be JustKurt because I think Dragon Dance is just too much to my team, especially with the Dragonium Z. But those are kind of my thoughts that are going in. I let off my Mega Aerodactyl because I wanted to immediately put pressure on him. If he led the Nidoking, if he led the Mega Manectric, if he led the Heatran, I could Earthquake all of them and just straight OHKO them. All of them get OHKO'd by it. Actually, Mega Manectric doesn't. But I could potentially have the speed advantage immediately and then act accordingly to what he has, because I feel like anything that would force out my Mega Aero, like like I said, the Manectric, or an Air Balloon Heatran, or a Tapu Bulu. Basically, I have switched into just about anything he has on his team, so I'm perfectly okay leading kind of poorly against whatever he wants, just to have the speed advantage and try and get that Mega off immediately. Getting the Mega off is nice for the extra bulk that I would get, especially since Sand can be up, and with Sand up, Mega Aerodactyl actually takes hits from all 3 of his special mods pretty well. Well, 3 out of 4. So, let us get into it. I'm going to lead off, like I said, with that Mega Aerodactyl, and we are going to see how this battle goes. This is a bit of a long one, just a little bit. We do have a little bit of stalliness in this game, but I promise it's nothing like my first 4 weeks. So we're going to get in this. I'm really, really excited for this. I really want this team to do well because I love this team so much. So you're going to see that he leads off with the Tapu Bulu. Now here, last time, like I said, he went for lead seed as I switched into Guzzlord, and I do not want that because while my Guzzlord isn't invested in HP, that's still a lot of HP he gets from that, and it's going to be basically impossible to break him if he's sub or protect. So while I am this time, as opposed to last time, I'm going to go hard out to my Gengar, predicting for him to go for Superpower or the lead seed. And if he goes for either of those, of course, I can put immediate pressure on him. So he's going to go for sub here. I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb. Now that I know that he's sub, and he's already told me he's lead seed and Superpower, I know that I can stay in on this. Nothing kills me except for his Zen Headbutt, which I don't expect him to have. I expect him to have Horn Leech. And I can just put pressure on him immediately. So I'm going to get a crit, which doesn't matter. But here he's going to reveal that he has Horn Leech and that he has max attack, and maybe he is adamant. Who knows? I'm not sure yet. But he's going to get his HP back immediately. I know that this thing is going to be a problem. Luckily, I disable Horn Leech, so he can't do anything to me. And that makes my next play very, very easy. I know he's going into Tran. I know he's going into Nidoking, one of the two. He showed that Nidoking was his initial response to Gengar earlier, or in the first 4 games, or the first 4 turns of the first game. So that kind of should have tipped me off to what it was, but he does go into the Nidoking this time. When he went for Ice Beam in the first game, I did note that he was not Life Orb, so I kind of thought this one would be the choice card for. So here we're going to go, he's going to go for Ice Beam, and I don't really want to go for Stopping Tantrum again. I don't want to let anything in. I think Knockoff is a better play anyway, and Knockoff is going to reveal to me that he is in fact Assault Vest. So there's another choice Scarfer out there running around, but this is very nice. He is no longer able to switch into Gengar that easily unless he goes into Tran or Meloetta. So I'm going to switch on out of here, get my Divine Beast out of there, save it for later, because I might be able to pop my Eye of Papa Berry versus something else. And I'm going to go to my Mew, because I know that my Mew can take this on very, very handily, because it is not Life Orb. So I'm going to be able to get Grassy Terrain recovery, I'm going to be able to get Leftovers, I'm going to be at a nice amount of HP, especially after the next turn, and I can just fire off a very, very easy Size Shock. I'm not concerned with what comes in. If he goes into Tapu Bulu, that's fine, I can switch out accordingly. If he goes into Meloetta, I'm fine versus that. The only thing that threatens me is a Choice Spec Shadow Ball, but he's actually going to go to Mega Manectric, which is very interesting to me. So I go for Size Shock in this turn, and I'm able to get a nice amount of damage off on it, honestly, specifically since I'm uninvested. So I'm going to get some leftover recovery in here. I'm going to stay in and click Soft Boil, because that's going to allow me to scout this thing, what it might want to go for, whether or not I think it's going to go for HP Ice, whether or not I think it's going to go for Overheat, whether or not I think it's going to go for Volt Switch, etc. And the Intimidate gets off, and he's going to actually show off the Signal Beam, which is not something I immediately thought of, which I definitely should have. But Signal Beam is going to do a nice amount of damage to me. However, I am going to get most of it back with the Soft Boiled. And on the next turn, I am going to go out into the... What do I go out to? I don't remember. I'm going to go out to Hippowdon because I want my rocks up. That's right. So I'm going to switch on out here. I'm going to go out into my Hippowdon to get those rocks up because the rocks are very, very nice for whittling down his team for a potential late game Gengar sweep or a late game Virizion sweep, because my Virizion does nice work here. I definitely also think that my Virizion might be the way I beat down the Tapu... beat down the Tapu Bulu, because it is a very annoying mon for me to handle. So I'm going to keep that in mind as here we're going to get up these nice young rocks. Very excited to get these rocks up just so I can whittle this team down. The team I brought is a bit bulkier than what I'm supposed to be bringing with this nice offensive team, but we're going to let it go. And we're going to see that he is going to stay at full, unfortunately. So, I'm going to get out of there immediately. I'm going to go into my Guzzlord because it's my... I'm okay with sacking this thing off. It's kind of shown that it is a decent check to this Bull. And I, unfortunately, get hit with the sub, which I should have thought of. I should have just gone for Iron Head, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. If I could have prevented this thing from having a sub, I would have been much better off. However, I do know that he will have to go for Superpower here, and if he's not max attack and I calced wrong earlier, I will actually live the Superpower and be able to get off a Poison Jab with us breaking the sub, but unfortunately, he's invested. So, He's going to be able to keep his sub. However, I do note that his attack and defense fall. Obviously, he used superpower. He's going to lose some of his stats, but that makes me think, boy, you know what's a good play here? Let's bring out my nice young Virizion, because I'm immune to the Leech Seed, and I am going to be able to sub-stall some of his superpowers to the point where he won't be able to break my sub anymore. And I'll be able to use this to start breaking through his team, which is very good because his team is kind of annoying me at this point. I don't really like it. But hopefully I can get rid of one or two of his bulkier mons, specifically this Tapu Bulu. And I might be able to go in later with one of my mons. Oh, my poor cat has a hairball. That's sad. How would you feel if you had a hairball at 3 in the morning? Question of the day. Question of the day. How do you feel about having a hairball in your throat at 3 o'clock in the morning? Answer below. But anyway, I'm going to substall just a couple times. I'm not going to substall much. I think I just need to have him at -3. And he actually here realizes what I'm doing and goes for the Horn Leech. But unfortunately, it is too late, Deathly. I have got you in my web, and now I'm going to be able to start attacking you. My goal is just to get him low enough to where I can kill him with the Bloom Doom, which is going to be a bit harder now that grassy terrain's gone, but I'm going to start attacking this thing, get off a Leaf Blade, and then that's just how this is going to go for a few turns. I'm going to be Leaf Blading, he's going to be Horn Leeching, I'm going to be whittling him down in the range of Bloom Doom. Specifically, I want to get him at the very edge. Like, I want him to just barely be in range of Bloom Doom so he doesn't think that he has to switch out, right? I want him to think that he can stay in and take another hit from me and then get Bloom Doom to get out of here. So Leaf Blade comes off. It's just going to be back and forth, like I said. How you doing? How you doing, guys? It's 3 in the morning here. It's very late. I just got off work. It was very fun. My coworker's car broke down, but you don't care about that. But I need something to talk about while we see leftovers go off 4 times a turn. Very exciting stuff, I should say. But getting rid of this Tapu Bulu is one of my main concerns because it is probably the biggest thing that is standing between me and throwing out my Aerodactyl and just getting kills. Because without grassy terrain, at the range Manectric's at, it dies to Earthquake. Nidoking is going to die to Earthquake. Heatran is going to die to Earthquake. Haxorus is not going to appreciate a Stone Edge, and neither is the Meloetta. However, finally we are at the point where my Bloom Doom will be able to pick up the KO on this Tapu Bulu. I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to send this thing packing. So Bloom Doom comes off, and we are going to do very, very well here. Very, very nice knockout to this Tapu Bulu, and that is that. So, on this next turn, he is going to go out into, I believe, his Manectric, because obviously it's going to be able to kill me with the Signal Beam or the Overheat. Or the Flamethrower, or really anything, because I'm pretty low, not going to lie. And Intimidate is going to make sure that he lives, he doesn't live a hit, but he would, you know, be able to take it. Or take, if he switched out, whatever comes in would be able to take it. But I'm going to go to my Hippowdon here. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm going to go to my Hippowdon because there's nothing he can go for that's going to be able to KO me. And I'm going to actually not click Slack Off on this turn because I think I can check this Manectric now that it's really low and it has to come in on Stealth Rocks again. I'm just going to go for Earthquake and attack whatever comes in. I think I'm at a decent enough HP that I can still take on what I need to. I still take 1 hit from the Haxorus. I still take a hit from the Manectric. I'll be perfectly fine. And it's very good that I do this because he brought in the Nidoking. And I'm able to send that thing packing, which is very, very nice. At this point, I'm in a very, very good position. I've gotten rid of his Nidoking. I've gotten rid of his Tapu Bulu. He is now going to have a very hard time breaking through the rest of my team, which is exactly what I was hoping for. And I might be able to just knock the rest of this out. He goes in Heatran, and this is just absolutely screaming Bloom Doom. So I'm going to get out of there because I know I don't want to take that Bloom Doom. And I'm actually going to go into my Mega Aerodactyl because there is no move that he can go for right now unless he's Life Orb, Specs, Expert Belt, something that can knock me out with the Sand Up. The only thing he can go for is if he is a boosting item and he goes for Flash Cannon on this turn. And nothing else will knock me out. Even an a modest max special attack Flash Cannon would not knock me out. So we're going to see the Bloom Doom come off 2 Bloom Dooms in one battle, and we are going to see that I'm actually going to take about 75% from them, which is very nice. And on the next turn, I'm going to be able to Mega Evolve and click Earthquake, and nothing on his team wants to switch in and then switch in on Earthquake from a Mega Aerodactyl and then take a second one, especially since I'm adamant. So I'm just going to go for the Earthquake here, knock this thing out. Very, very good. And then I'm going to just see what he brings out, because at this point he has to bring out his Scarfer. He has 2 Pokemon left that can be a potential Scarfer. One of them has to come out right now, and it is going to be the Haxorus. So I'm actually going to stay in. I'm okay with losing my Mega Aerodactyl. While it is a very good mon in the rest of this match, I'm okay with letting it go down because it would give me the information of whether or not this is the Scarfer, and it actually turns out that it is. So he's going to go for Outrage here and knock out my Aerodactyl. However, unfortunately, because the Sandstorm subsides, he is just barely not in range of my Gengar's attacks yet. So I'm going to go into my Hippowdon first, get the sand back up so I can start getting chip damage on the last 3 of his mons. He's going to go for Outrage. I'm going to go for Slack Off just on the off chance that I feel the need to, because no matter what, I know he's Scarfed, I know he's locked in, and all I need him to do is take a Sand and then Rocks, and he's in range of Shadow Ball, or just take a couple of turns of Sand. So I'm going to get my Hippowdon back to being healthy so I can take on the last 2 mons of his team, and then I'm going to click the Earthquake here just to knock, or get some damage off on this thing. Very nice. Going to put this thing very, very low as on this next turn. I'm going to click Earthquake again. Well, I know I just healed up. I don't think it's necessary for me to be completely healed up. I think I just need this thing around for a sack, which the Slack Off gave me the ability to do. So I'm going to go for Earthquake here again, and we're going to see that the Manectric is going to come out, and the Manectric is going to go down as a sack, which makes sense. Especially with what you're gonna see happens after this, and that is well, first I'm gonna knock this thing out with Earthquake. Whew. But I know that my Gengar will be able to revenge the Haxorus, so the only thing that stands in my way is gonna be this Meloetta. When this Meloetta comes out, because I know it is gonna come out, he has to go into Meloetta here. I am going to attack it. I'm going to click Earthquake, or no, I'm not going to attack it. I'm going to sack off my Virizion and then go out to my Mew, because if I sack Virizion, if I go out to Virizion, it presents an immediate threat to him, and he can only get up 1 Calm Mind. However, he is going to actually go for the Relic Song, revealing that he is the Pirouette Meloetta. So I actually live, which is funny, but I will die to Sand. Virizion was a nice sack here because, like I said, if he goes for Calm Mind, he can only get 1 up max before I start attacking him, or maybe 2 max before I just start overloading him with damage. So it would prevent him from getting too strong to knock out my Mew before I get to psych up its boost. But here I'm going to go out to my Mew because I know that I can take put this thing in range of my Gengar's attacks, and it is actually going to reveal Shadow Claw, which is very, very smart. Like, this is very smart because 1, I could be Cobra Berry, and 2, I could be a Z Crystal because I ran Z Crystal on my Mew last week. So this is a very smart play by Deathly to bring Shadow Claw instead to get the better damage off on me. So Meloetta goes down, unfortunately, because I'm a Mew and I'm so very fat, and I'm able to take the Shadow Claw and knock it out with Psyshock. And here, it doesn't really matter what I do because all I have to do is get my Gengar in on this thing, and I'm going to be able to win the game because my Gengar is Trace Scarfed and faster than the Haxorus. So I'm going to let him take my Mew, and we're going to go out to Gengar, and we're going to finish this off. So Gengar comes out, it is going to click the Shadow Ball, and I'm going to win this game 2-0 versus DeathlyiAm. I apologize for the fact that I had to be quiet and not my usual spunky, sporadic self. I really like being my sporadic self, but unfortunately it's really late, and I'm probably already woken up my sister who sleeps above me. Don't tell her I did this. She already knows. I'm sure she's going to text me any minute now. But that's going to be a win. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. Be sure to go check out Tyler's side on his channel. It is going up at the same time that this video is going up, so make sure you go check out him. He live on this, and I can't wait to see his reactions as well. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you here next week for our team builder and then battle as we take on Leader Geo and his San Francisco Giants. Yeah, that's a mouthful. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces. Whoopsie, where is it? Come on. I'm smart. Leave me alone. I'm good at this YouTube thing.